ABAI is a work in progress. It's an evolving agenda of a bunch of guys who are in businesses that people are discovering: animation, visual effects, gaming, and comics. These are buzzwords. The work that goes into creating any of this has myriads of different skill sets and goes on different platforms, and in an emerging new media landscape, there is a convergence of, for example, CG or computer graphics that goes across these landscapes. This is very much a creative industry powered by technology. We have spent the past year actually fine-tuning the education agenda. We've got a Train the Trainer facility that will be opening shortly. We've worked with the government art colleges, the private art colleges, to figure out how people can learn and embrace the digital art tools very much earlier in their education process. So instead of going for a 4-year undergrad and then coming out and figuring out, now should I learn Maya or Photoshop, etc., we want people to do that earlier and earlier. In my vision, that will actually start happening even at the level of schools in the future. So that, I think, is something that we have created the framework for, and I think the education agenda has been very well articulated in the last year. In the creative industries, we've been engaging with governments across the country, both state governments and central governments. I must compliment the Karnataka government. It's the first time we've actually rubbed two stones together and found that we can actually light a fire. And that fire was the KAVGC policy that came out in 2011. What the policy really does is to now create a base in which the industry and the government can start looking at education projects. I mentioned to you Train the Trainer and digital art centers. Those are already born out of the policies initiatives last year. We're now looking at the technology initiative, where we want to create the center of excellence, where shared infrastructure, leveraging things that we haven't figured out yet, like the cloud, and stuff like that will become the next gen of what we would do between government and industry. So the government is definitely, if we are the engine under the hood, the government is definitely the petrol in our tank.
This sector, AVGC sector, has a great potential in Bangalore, which is probably still underutilized as compared to its potential. So we have taken that up as a priority in the government of Karnataka, and we were the first state to come up with a separate policy. You see, the regular IT policy is aimed at the larger IT and IT services companies, which doesn't really suit this sector, the AVGC sector. So we decided to come up with a separate policy tailor-made to this sector, and that's how the interaction began, and then it resulted in a whole policy coming out. There are various aspects of the policy, and we are now currently working with ABAI in implementing different items of that policy. Apart from doing events and trying to promote the industry, the AVGC industry, we have already now set up a Train the Trainer facility where we are funding ABAI, and ABAI has set it up, and mid-September it's being opened, this thing where the industry will mentor and set up the curriculum for a rigorous training course, which is one of the requirements where you feel, because this industry needs highly trained professionals of various kinds, and the existing training institutes are not up to the mark. So this institute, which government is funding and it's going to be run by ABAI, aims to set up a proper curriculum of the desired order, and the teachers would be trained, and then in turn they will train the others. So we set that up in motion. We are also now setting up a post-production lab facility with a studio arrangement, so that most of the companies find it very expensive to get this part of the work done, and many of them have to go to Mumbai or Chennai or something like that. So now, once we have that in Bangalore, we'll make it more affordable to the smaller companies, so that they don't have to invest in this kind of an equipment, because this is a capital intensive industry. So our idea is that we set up a common facility so that they can pay at a subsidized rate and use those facilities. We have also worked with ABAI, and we have set up 7 digital art centers in traditional art schools. The idea being that the conventional art schools also get exposed to digital arts, and the students get exposed to this from year 1 onwards, and so that it's a choice for them whether they want to pursue in the conventional arts or apply conventional art and make digital arts their career, or use a blend of both. So that's one of the things. So there are a series of events and small programs. So let's hope we do well. Our role is the facilitating role. We are the facilitators. We can do the funding. We can enable things to happen. But end of the day, it's the industry which should really come up with the design of what they want, and is it practical, and they should also populate it and popularize it, etc. So I can't take it to the industry. What I can do is I can try and make things happen for the industry as per what the industry feels is needed, and as a government we can facilitate that. So I think it's a right cooperation between industry and government, and we hope this will pay off rich dividends in the coming years.
We as an association were trying to get the attention of the entire community to come together, and also get the attention of the government to support this industry. So we thought the best way to do it was to come together, create a platform where we can actually have together, and also try to understand for ourselves and to present exactly what are the issues and how do we want to actually take it forward as a community to grow. We start off by trying to see every year how we can get more and more people associated. So the very first summit, if you see, like a couple of years ago, we had more people like from Bangalore, Karnataka and nearby states. The second year had the whole country, coming together. And this year you can see that actually we have people from all across. We have US, UK, Canada, name it, actually, you have them all here. But it's something that works towards achieving like something very, very concrete. And everybody from the community is putting in solid hours of work to achieve something concrete. We are absolutely fortunate, I would say, to have a government here in Karnataka which has shown something so exceptionally different. Like I personally have been involved with various governments in India, overseas, for last 20 plus years, but I've never seen a government that is so proactive and is willing to actually join hands, and almost sometimes actually they are pulling us. I mean, normally we are used to pushing the government to support us, but this is a case where they are actually, hey, like what next? What should we do next scenario? So we are absolutely grateful to the leadership that we have in the Minister, Honorable Minister, Mr. Patil currently, and Mr. ISN Prasad, who is actually the hero, who is in the government but a hero for the industry. And we really hope to have him with us for the next few years, when we are sure with his support we will change the scene in India very soon.